Hello everyone, my name is Haley Pointer. I am a communication major at USF. I'm ranked as a third year student, so I am a junior, and I'm not part of any organizations because I'm not on any sports leagues, I'm not in any clubs, I'm not employed. I'm considered a full-time student. But when I do have time for extracurriculars, I do enjoy cooking. I really enjoy baking. I really enjoy fishing with my grandpa. And I really enjoy reading. I actually just started reading The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which is a very good romance book. As for the question of what I wanted to be when I was in elementary school when I grew up, and how has that changed now that I'm in college? When I was in elementary school, I really wanted to be a veterinarian. And in college, I actually started on a career path as a cell and molecular biology major initially. That would put me on track to become a veterinarian eventually in the future. But I ended up not pursuing this career path because of a term called channel lean context, which is defined in the book as, quote, environments that use relatively fewer channels, end quote. That definition is on page 13 of the textbook. And the reason that this term really matters to my decision to no longer become a veterinarian is because a lot of the time in the classes I had to take in order to get my degree to go to vet school, we would use primary communication methods that had to do with channel lean contexts, such as texting or emailing. And this was for communication between both myself and my classmates, as well as between myself and professors. And as a result, I couldn't really express myself as much as I wanted to. I didn't feel like I could really connect with my professors or other students that were in my major. So I didn't really feel a connection to my major as a whole. And therefore, over time, I didn't really feel a connection to becoming a veterinarian. It didn't appeal to me anymore. As a result, I changed from wanting to become a veterinarian from elementary school to in college, after I switched, I wanted to become a book editor instead. And the reason that I wanted to become a book editor instead was because of a term called channel-rich context, which in the book is defined as, quote, environments that incorporate many communication channels at once, end quote. And that definition can be found on page 13 of the textbook. And channel-rich context really matters to me, especially with my career field, because a lot of times as a now communication major, which can lead to becoming a book editor in the future, we communicate primarily through methods that use channel-rich context, such as face-to-face conversations, which can include gestures and tones of voice, and you can tell if someone's being sarcastic, or you can tell if they're trying to be funny, or if they're sad, if they're happy, if they're anxious, everything. You can really express yourself through using channel-rich context for communication, and that really aligns with my personal interests and my personality as a whole. So that really influenced my decision to want to become a communication major, and through being a communication major, I can become a book editor, which I would really like to do now that I've gotten more into reading and books lately. One thing that I can do to set myself up for success in this class specifically is I can look at the modules for each week for this class starting at the beginning of the week. That way I can familiarize myself with the content early, and I can know what's expected of me throughout the week. That way I don't check it on Friday and I have 5 assignments due on Friday versus checking it on Monday, and I can work on the assignments throughout the week so I'm not as stressed. And another thing I can do to set myself up for success in this class is to check the announcements from my professor both on Canvas and through my school email regularly, as in daily, hopefully. Because by doing so, I can be up to date on any changes made to assignments, any changes made to the syllabus or rubrics for an assignments, directions for an assignments, due dates for assignments. And it can prevent me from stressing out about how to do assignments, or when I'm supposed to be turning them in, or if there's anything my professor needs to tell me.